What is up guys, I am the Sixth Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. So an exciting little tidbit of news today from the Warhammer community page, and this video is more of a little public service announcement just in case you hadn't seen it or don't look at the Warhammer community page more than anything. So the 40k app Battleforge beta has been released and is currently out right now for you to download and use. And for those of you that don't know what it is, it's basically GW's answer to Battlescribe. It's a place where you can go onto the app and pretty much build your army in a similar way to the way that you can using Battlescribe, which I'm sure many of you already know and use and are quite familiar with. Now, obviously, the 40k app is a paid app. I believe it's $3.99 a month for people in the UK. So obviously, compared to Battlescribe, which is free, doesn't really seem like a great deal. But I have the app and I'm a subscriber to it, and I've been looking through the Battleforge section, and there are quite a few things that I like. It definitely feels smoother to me than Battlescribe, which can be a bit clunky and slow at times. It certainly seems a lot more responsive, I'm finding, with the Battleforge. I also think that it looks a lot sleeker and nicer, and I like the fact that it has the images of the units as you sort of like scroll through and make your selections. It seems quite user-friendly and easy to understand in ways that I think Battlescribe sometimes isn't. Sometimes I find Battlescribe can be a bit complex in terms of seeing what mistakes you've made, why your list isn't legal, and going through all the error messages at the top to kind of figure out which squad doesn't have the right war gear or what sergeant in a squad doesn't have the right equipment. This one seems a lot more straightforward and simpler to use, which I like. And the obvious other big thing for me anyway is that this is more than likely going to be getting updates much quicker and much more rapidly than Battlescribe. And I mean, don't get me wrong, all due credit to the guys at Battlescribe. They do a great job of getting the data, getting it uploaded, and getting it all sorted within sort of a few days or a week of a codex dropping. But Battleforge should, in theory, beat them and be updated, I would imagine pretty much immediately when a codex drops. And again, in theory, it should, again, saying this, should be more accurate than Battlescribe, because occasionally in Battlescribe you do get error messages where things aren't quite right, or the rules aren't quite right, or there's something missing, or some war gear option isn't quite there. The Battleforge from GW should, in theory, and again I'm going to say this, it should in theory be completely accurate and be up to date and have all the FAQs and the changes and everything like that done pretty much immediately. Obviously your mileage may vary on that belief, and certainly we all know that GW aren't perfect when it comes to getting rules and codexes right, but I'm hoping that this app will be slightly more reliable in terms of getting things accurate and getting things right compared to Battlescribe. And again, I just want to say, I can think, like, on one hand, I think I can count the number of times that Battlescribe has been incorrect or had a mistake, but still, this app should be more accurate than that, and it should be sort of the go-to place if you're not sure about an update on Battlescribe. The Battleforge app should have the correct ruling. But in any case, whether you believe that or not, it's free for a month when you sign up, so I would definitely recommend it. If you have a smartphone, you may as well get the app and download it and try it out. And then if you find that, because it's not just the Battleforge, I mean, the Battleforge is the latest part of it that is now in beta that they've released, but the app in general has sort of, it released to a bit of a stumble last year sometime, I think it released, but they seem to have made some good updates to it, so I would give it a try and see whether you like it. If you don't, then just cancel your subscription and you won't have to pay anything. But I would definitely give it a try and see whether you like it, see whether you like the interface, see whether you like how it looks and how it feels, and how the list building, because the list building is very similar to Battlescribe, but it's also quite different in the way it's laid out and the way that you go through and add the kind of war gear and the units and that kind of thing. And I kind of like it. I feel like maybe it's just because I don't know it that well yet, but it took me a bit longer to make a list with Battleforge than it does with Battlescribe. But again, that may just be because I'm not used to it yet, and it will get faster as I get more used to sort of where everything is and how to go through all the options and add everything in. But in any case, that's kind of just a quick chat about the app, just to let you know that this had been released in case you didn't know. But now here's the public service announcement. If you do sign up and you stay signed up, GW are doing a cheeky little giveaway which may be of interest to you. So as you can see on the screen now, if you sign up, subscribe and get the app, you can create an army using it And then if you share it on Instagram or Twitter with the 40k Battleforge hashtag before the 7th of January, you can be in for a chance of winning that army that you created. It has a few restrictions. It can't be over $1,000, which I believe in the T's and C's it says, I think it's £758 in the UK, and I can't remember for Australia, but basically it's $1,000 or the equivalent in your currency. So you may need the GW webpage open as you're sort of building the army to make sure you don't go over the budget. But this is obviously quite a good way to get people excited and hyped for the app. And the article does also mention that the team are continuing to take in the feedback which has been given to them and improve the app as they go. So, I mean, overall, I think that's a good thing. I know lots of people have been wanting and urging GW to move into the digital age for quite a while now. I remember when I was sort of getting back into the hobby in 2012, and I remember reading on forums and stuff, people saying, why are GW so sort of anti social media and anti kind of engaging with their fans and that kind of thing. And I think it's obvious that they've made huge headway in the past 4 or 5 years with, their YouTube and their Instagram and their Twitch and their Facebook. And especially since this whole situation has happened in 2020, they're doing sort of like those daily Twitch streams. And I think they've done a really good job of bringing themselves into the current kind of era of technology, and really kind of making themselves open to their fans and getting that feedback and actually taking on board the feedback from the fans. And I think that's a really good thing. And I think that this app could definitely be another step in the right direction for how the company does, maybe not everything, but things like rules and campaigns and codexes, and certainly things like FAQs and erratas and that kind of thing in the future. I think this could be a really good way to get those things out there and make sure that people have those rules and don't have to carry around 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books, just to have a game. Now, obviously, and I will include myself in this, many people still prefer the look and feel of holding the books in their hands. I mean, I definitely do. I love having a book in my hand and reading through a codex and like flicking through it to find the rules. So they do also say that if you're an old-fashioned sort, you can still take part in this competition and email your army list to GW, so don't fret about that. If you want to win a free army, you still have a chance even if you don't want to get the app. But I do think that this app is, as I said, a step in the right direction, and I'm very excited about this competition. I'm definitely going to be putting together an army or two. Obviously, Dark Angels and Orcs are going to be 2 of them, but I was kind of thinking about Nids as well, and I don't know, I wanted to do 4 armies. So if you have any suggestions or ideas, feel free to let me know in the comments below what you would like to see me put an army list together of. What I was thinking of doing was doing 4 army lists that I like the look of. Obviously within the budget of £750, so a Dark Angel one, an Orc one, a Nid one, and then any that get recommended below. And then, because this competition ends on the 7th of January, what I may do is do like a poll on Twitter in early January and put the 4 lists. I'll obviously share the lists on Twitter, or I might even do a video of me kind of going through everything and choosing what I'm gonna put in the list so that you can see them. And then everyone can vote and kind of on the army that they think is the coolest or the most fun, or they would like to see the most on the Heralds of Hobby channel when I get around to painting it eventually. So you could all vote, and that would be the list that I submitted for the competition. I think that could be a nice way to kind of have a look at a few lists and also be a bit of a surprise for me, because I wouldn't know which army I would be getting, because I don't really mind. Like, I love Dark Angels and Orcs, obviously, but if you kind of out of left field said I should try and get an Eldar army and put an Eldar list together, and that was the one that everyone voted for, like, it's a free army. I'm not going to complain about what army I get. I just think it could be a nice, interesting way for me to have a bit of experimentation, because I always do Orc lists and Dark Angel lists, and it might be fun to just try and do a few others and see what I can get in for £750. So that's it. I just wanted to give people a heads up about the app and the competition. That was really the whole point of this video. If you haven't seen the Warhammer community page, go check it out. It is worth looking at the Warhammer community page anyway, not to kind of jump on the GW bandwagon, but they do a load of good content there. So if you don't check it out on a daily basis, you should. There's almost always something interesting to read on there around sort of like early afternoon UK time. But anyway, enough of that. Let me know what army you're going to be putting together if you're going to submit something for this competition, and what you think of the app as well. I'd love to know if any of you have got it and whether you like it, whether you like the Battleforge, if you think it's better than Battlescribe, or what the pros and cons are for each. Um, and I'd be quite interested to know what you think GW are going to do going forwards. Are they going to have more digital codexes and books, or do you think they will always keep those hard copies as the main form of releasing codexes and campaigns and rules? Thanks again for watching, and please like and subscribe if you want to see more Warhammer related videos from me. Until next time, though, I'll catch you later, guys.